Organization miscreants. They found us.
But why would the nobody steal photographs?
Both are nothing but data to them. The fools could never tell the difference. We are running out of time. Namine must make haste.
And this is pretty much keeping us up to date with what Diz and it seems Ansem is doing now. Yeah, it seems Riku couldn't fight the darkness and now Ansem's overtaken his body, and is working with Diz for some reason. Moral dubiousness is dubious, but yeah, I'm also going to be talking over these little dream sequences, because again, Roxas is experiencing all these as dreams of his. Kinda weird that he's, like, experiencing Matrix-like glitches, but, yeah, you know, the Matrix trilogy was still pretty popular around this time. I guess maybe this is his way of spicing it up. You know, in the way that lucid dreams tend to be. Well, I'm using that in the wrong term, obviously. I mean lucidity in the sense that it's free-flowing and freaky. And, once again, speaking of the whole voice actor situation, again, as you could no doubt tell by the fact that Ansem is no longer voiced by Billy Zane, he's Richard Epcar in this one, and the fact that Squall is no longer voiced by Angel, yeah, new voice actors. A lot of the, again, you're hearing stuff like Mina Suvari from Advent Children, but, I don't know. I guess either the fact that Disney might have considered them too expensive, or, well, they just had other things going on. I'll talk about it a little bit more later, but we gotta quieten down first, because Roxas is about to wake up.
A key blade? A keyblade. What was that about? Oh. Sorry about that. Thanks.
Do you guys think we'll always be together like this?
I sure hope so.
Huh? Where did that come from?
Well, you know, just thinking out loud.
Well, I doubt we could be together forever. But isn't that what growing up's all about? What's important isn't how often we see each other, but how often we think about each other. Right?
Get that off a fortune cookie?
That's it. No more ice cream for you. Man, today's turning out to be a drag.
Maybe because of yesterday's memory thief.
Nuh-uh. You know what it is? We don't want summer vacation to be over, that's all. So, how about this? We all go to the beach! And why do we go to the beach? Because we haven't gone once this entire vacation. Blue seas, blue skies. Let's just get on the train and go. No? Oh, come on.
Maybe you forgot, but we're broke.
Maybe you forgot I'm smart.
Something tells me that Hayner is going to be the first one of the group to do cocaine. Or any sort of illicit substance that'll send his life spiraling down, falling down. And yeah, like Kingdom Hearts 1, I'm pretty much breaking these recording sessions where, well, in terms of recording gameplay footage, I record it basically whenever I go to the save segment and just, you know, faff about just around there, really. So, yeah, no harm, no foul. But, anyway, to once again talk about the nostalgia factor, going to the beach. Well, I mean, it's especially more nostalgic for me, because again, I did kind of live, like, in a bit of a, like a port beach town, you know, a lot of seafaring stuff, a lot of beaches and docks. Yeah, so, this kind of hits home for me a little bit. I mean, Kingdom Hearts in general tends to do that, because, I mean, especially given the whole Destiny Islands thing in Kingdom Hearts 1, and again, stuff like this, well, I mean, I kind of put it as Destiny Islands and Kingdom Hearts 1 kind of representing how I felt about my childhood, you know, just playing with friends when we were, weans. Kingdom Hearts 2 kind of represents, like, that adolescence, tween to teenage years. I don't know, just a group of friends thinking about the future, looking forward to feeling, like, ways about stuff, man, going skateboarding, pulling off a bunch of sick tricks, which you can do, and, again, it is quite fun, which sadly in Kingdom Hearts 3, they got rid of the skateboard, and, it just makes me sad, it does. But I don't know, it's part of the reasons why I do legitimately love Twilight Town and the Roxas prologue section, is that you get to experience a nice slice of this kid's life, and again, like, even his inner thoughts, like, you know, oh, it's the couch that Pence and Alette sit on, oh, it's the dartboard me and Hayner usually play with. Stuff like that is really good, and it kind of reminds me of some of the better parts of the, you know, Silent Hill, Devil May Cry kind of thing, where characters will have, you know, more snarky remarks and stuff a bit more personal to them as they examine things, and I don't know, it builds a lot of character for the location, and again, given what we've seen before with Twilight Town, you know, we've seen Roxas and his friends, you know, we've seen the people that he knows around town, his local haunts, you know, the stock bully gang with Cypher and his disciplinary committee. I don't know, it's all very good stuff, and goddamn, this just makes me nostalgic and a little bit sad, to be honest.
Just 2 days to go. You and I have to make the finals. That way, no matter who wins, 4 of us split the prize.
Okay, you're on.
You two are gonna clean up.
Go get him.
It's a promise.
Yeah, like, I mean, even stuff like the Struggle Tournament really just brings back memories of, you know, whenever there was, like, a Battle of the Bands or something, or, you know, just all sorts of shit, really. Like, whenever there was an event going on in town, you'd try and participate and just have some fun. It kind of gave me a bit of an awakening, really, as I started watching this footage back, in the sense that I don't really do a lot of that kind of stuff anymore. Like, I mean, oof, Christ. Well, I mean, mainly, a lot of this is mainly because, you know, adulthood, responsibilities, and, you know, gotta go to work, I eat the food, and take care of responsibilities and all that, but, I guess maybe COVID might also play a bit of a part in this as well, but I really don't do as much of these things as, I did when I was a teenager, and that depresses me. Anyway, back to the game at hand. Now they're talking about getting jobs. Not because they're squeaky cleaned, golly gee, let's go down to the sugar shack for a malt and then go sneak dancing at the SOP. But more so because, well, they want to go for the beach, are discussing what they can buy and what food isn't too expensive, which is really fucking relatable because, oh goddamn, being a broke teenager, that fucking sucked. Like, I mean, it's probably saying something to the simplicity of, like, preteen and teenage youth in the sense that, you know, by the time we all pulled our money together and found out what movies or games we wanted to buy and trade with each other, and, you know, what sort of snacks, chips and pizza we wanted to have for, like, a night whenever we hung out or whatever. Yeah. God. Jesus Christ, teenage life is like a fucking... I mean, in terms of my lifespan, it's really not that far away, but at the same time, though, like, it feels like a lifetime ago, and goddamn, Kingdom Hearts 2 stopped bringing these emotions out of me, and just, my heart is being split in twain between Heartless and Nobody. But yeah, to talk about the game good and proper, and to stop being wistful about my childhood nostalgia, because fuck me, I guess. Well, first of all, finagling with the menu, basically the same sort of setup as Kingdom Hearts 1, no Jiminy Journal just yet, you pretty much just have this stock screen just there of Roxas' own thoughts. And of course, another interesting thing, you can actually change the command menu. In Kingdom Hearts 2, the command menus, as you can probably see, are stylized, whereas here you can switch it to and fro from Kingdom Hearts 1 or Kingdom Hearts 2 with its stylish menus, so yeah, that's one thing going for you. But anyway, to talk about this point in the game, doing chores and odd jobs around town. This is probably one of people's biggest bugbears in terms of the game overall, in the sense that it makes the prologue feel a lot longer than it should. But one key thing, and I think even Hayner brings this up during the cutscene with the text and everything, is that, again, you can pretty much quit out of this at any time. Like, I mean, I think if you had the mindset to, you can pretty much go all the way to the train station, talk to Hayner, and pretty much move on with the plot. I don't think you actually have to do any of this getting a job malarkey, since you're pretty much... Well, since the following cutscene will pretty much show that Alette pretty much has everything covered. I mean, I guess with her being the responsible one, she probably had all this cash saved up ahead of time. What she was saving up for beforehand, I'm not too sure, but, you know, the sacrifices she's willing to make for friends. But anyway, you talk to people around town, find out what jobs are going around, or who potentially does have a job for you to do. And again, like, I mean, go to the poster board, and you can pretty much apply for them, and, well, start doing them, really. There are pretty much 6 jobs in total, one in this sector of town, and another in the town square. But, yeah, where a lot of the critiques come in is basically, well, for a lot of people they find it boring, and I'll admit, like, I mean, a working simulator is not really, shall we say, desirable, especially when you get into... Actually, both when you're a kid and as an adult, because, I mean, as an adult, you're pretty much doing all this shit anyway, except, you know, you're actually earning real-life money that you can spend on alcohol and drugs and lots of hookers and blackjack. In fact, you know what? Forget the blackjack. But, I mean, in turn, like, I mean, as a kid, it's pretty much just boring stuff. Like, I mean, you don't want to be doing this. You didn't pick up Kingdom Hearts 2 for mowing the lawn or doing the dishes or listening to an old man's stories. No, you wanted to play it for this awesome action fantasy stuff. But, well, I mean, I will say this, the jobs in Kingdom Hearts 2 are a bit more exciting as Roxas plays mailman. Delivering postcards to birds? What the fuck? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Seems like some sort of fucking Sonic 06 hats and the pigeon bullshit where somebody clearly didn't program this correctly. But yeah, pretty much deliver them to people around town, and depending on how well you do, how fast you perform all these jobs, you tend to get a little bit more money per thing earned. The only reason why it takes so long, as you've probably seen, is because you get very little per distance traveled. Again, everybody, you know, from Hayner, Pence, and Lad and everything, they pretty much agree to get 900 money per piece. Unfortunately, that does tend to take a while, and again, you can do that if you want to be a responsible friend who, you know, pulls their share of the work. Not that it really means anything, but hey-ho, Pip and Dale. But, yeah, you can pretty much just go to Hayner and end this at any time. I am going to be showing off all these jobs once, but, that's really about all you need to see. You can earn more if you want, and again, this money will, continue on throughout the game, in spite of whatever plot threads happen, because, well, again, we all know Sora's having a nice sleep summer in the game, and again, he is going to be coming back. But again, obviously, he's not going to have the money that Roxas has, because Roxas is a completely separate person. Why would you even think that these two would be related in any way? In fact, you know what? With them eating ice cream at the title screen, they're going to become friends. You know, Sora will wake up in a new location, stuck in a noodle kitchen, and he'll meet Roxas, befriend him, and get a new party member, and everything is going to be sweet. But yeah, once again, to talk about the jobs again, you can tell which... Because, like, I mean, the people, you know, who give you the jobs, their reactions are going to be like, yes, paltry, rather shitty effort. And they'll pretty much only give you 30 bucks. If it's good, then they'll pretty much give you 50. I mean, again, not bad. I mean, it's more cash than you've ever had before, but... all the same, I kind of feel like it probably should have gone up by the hundreds. Although, then again, I suppose if we're going to use the... Well, again, there was a kind of a video done by the Gaming Brit that kind of... it's kind of difficult to say this, but kind of had like this bit is meant to suck on purpose point to it, but I mean, come on, remember back to your childhood, like, nobody likes, a fucking stingy-ass paycheck, especially when they're used to, you know, bigger, especially if they happen to, you know, had actual workplace experience, by that point as well. I don't know, it's not bad, it's just, not too exciting. I mean, granted, I suppose, and, you know, one reason why I can sort of stomach this is that, again, as with the rest of the Roxas prologue, it has a bit of like a... Shenmue kind of effect, where, again, the more naturalistic elements, again, really just help to build up the atmosphere and, show how impressive Roxas is, and, dear god, look at Biggs just doing this fucking hip-hop thing, like, yeah, 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 yeah. And also another thing I want to bring up, because really I'm going to be showing off all the jobs, talking to all the people, and I don't know, I've kind of considered maybe like posting a non-commentary version, like where I do show most of the stuff, but I don't know, that might be for future consideration, because again, I do save these parts. Well, first of all, check this shit out. Kind of weird that Roxas knew how to do that, like he wasn't trained to be a Keyblade wielder, or had any other sort of powers, but he can front flip like he's a fucking Jedi Knight. Yeah, I don't know, maybe it was the old woman who taught him how to do this shit. You know, I mean, she probably retired for a reason, probably from doing many flippies, which is quite a common occurrence in this game. But anyway, to talk about what I was talking about before, yeah, I'm also going to be changing my controllers around about a certain point of the game where we get out of the prologue, because, again, you might be noticing that my movements as Roxas are a bit jittery. And yeah, that's because my old PS4 controller is, well, starting to fall apart. I mean, I've pretty much used it as the solitary controller for, God, I think the past... Actually, no, when did I get the PS4? It was 2017, I think, so, yeah, 5 years. Well, I mean, again, I've had controllers that have lasted me longer than that. I mean, my PS2 is a fucking beast, and that thing is still going strong even since 2004. And even after a certain crash that happened in the Enter the Matrix review that I will never live down. But, anyway, I'm gonna be switching controllers. Hopefully it'll fix the movement issues I've been having, but, yeah, it makes Roxas move a bit arthritically because, like, a lot of the leather has started to crack and, fallen off a little bit, so, yeah, it's just gonna know a bit pish. God, I used to be so much better at a lot of these mini-games as well, because, again, I guess maybe it was more so my kid brain, but again, I didn't realize you could go off to Hayner and, you know, quit out of these at any time. Like, I mean, it didn't ruin the Kingdom Hearts 2 experience for me, like, at all, but at the same time, though, this wasn't exactly what kid Solidus-Skully was expecting when he picked up an action RPG that was meant to be, you know, all about the Final Fantasy and the Disney and the Epic Adventures and the Heartless and the Lady! But, I don't know. I mean, if nothing else, though, I will say that, again, back when I was still a bit apprehensive about Kingdom Hearts due to the Disney stuff, this did kind of settle me into a bit of a groove as to what to expect from Kingdom Hearts, you know, the ongoing mysteries, and basically how the series would set itself out from this game forth, really. So, I mean, if nothing else, if you're a bit of a staunchy grouch like I am, it does very much, you know, settle you in to the Disneyness and the weirdness, so to speak. Because, I mean, even when I was a kid, I wasn't really much for like, a lot of, fantasy games either. But whether Final Fantasy or otherwise, because, I don't know. It was the 2000s, it was a very much an era dominated by, you know, Grand Theft Auto 3-esque, dude, explosions, guns, and extreme violence, man! Which is what I was pretty much into at the time. Again, it was a section of the era, don't blame me. I'm a product of my new metal WWE influence. Sue me. It's, anyway... After this, we pretty much won't have to worry about it, and, this is probably one of the more lengthier missions in town. Although it is the one that pays the best, I think, so... Yeah. I honestly gotta think of... I'm trying to remember, actually. I think there might be a skateboard around town that you can use to do these posters in quick succession, but I don't remember because I don't think I used it for this playthrough. I don't know. I might have to go back through the game and check quickly just to double check my sources on that. I seem to recall that's how I did it before, but I might be misremembering stuff, so, in that case, thank Nominee. And, yeah, 2 minutes, fucking 30, that's pitiful. Is that the best you can do? Well, fuck you, you little fat pedophilic bitch. Little fucking pedo-stash. And of course, now we have Bumblebusters. Bees, my god. Even Maven. This is where the commentary runs dry because we're just doing jobs. Kinda sucks. So, damn. I don't even have any Christopher Lee trivia to save me this time. Well, actually, no, I suppose, because again, I did omit a few things that I forgot to talk about back when I was laying down the groundwork for what I was going to tackle. And again, some of the additional elements for Final Mix, because, well, a little bit more so than Kingdom Hearts 1, really, well, sort of, is that, yeah, there's actually a lot more content that kind of makes Kingdom Hearts 2 Vanilla a bit of a difficult game to go back to, really, but, yeah. In terms of content, Mushroom 13, I'm not gonna do, or, I might have to do a bit more research into that, actually, before I consider doing it. I might, but maybe not. And of course, the Sephiroth Super Boss, yeah, I'm gonna be doing that one. And, trying to think of anything else, actually. Well, in terms of some other side content, because again, like in Kingdom Hearts 1, there are actually some worlds that you can play through, but you don't necessarily have to complete in order to get the... well, again, by complete, I mean sealing the keyhole and preventing the spread of Heartless and Nobodies throughout the worlds. So, yeah, depending on... I'm gonna be doing pretty much all the worlds, or even the optional Winifred shit thing that, you know, from Kingdom Hearts 1 with 100 Acre Wood. But a lot of that's going to be more towards endgame kind of stuff. I'm going to keep the main experience fresh, then have a partition dedicated towards, you know, side content and all that kind of stuff. Have a section for, again, the secret reports that are pretty much standard for every Kingdom Hearts game. And then are pretty much going to be finishing off the game good and proper as to, you know, kind of make the flow, streamlined, so to speak. I don't know. In terms of part length, it's kind of difficult for me to read, really, because, I mean, there's a lot more content in Kingdom Hearts 2 to go around with, but I don't know whether it will be longer or perhaps equal or slightly shorter than Kingdom Hearts 1. It is going to be a beefy game, I will say that much, but I don't know. I think it really depends on how I edit things, to be honest, but we'll find out. Yeah, another thing to also mention, there is actually two specific themes for Twilight Town's overworld theme and for its battle theme. For Roxas, you're pretty much hearing the same stuff you heard in Chain of Memories with the digital Twilight Town. Like, I mean, again, like, you have the same sort of overworld theme, albeit this one being a little bit less lazy Sundays with the lack of harmonica. I mean, I will admit, like, the Chain of Memories version of the Twilight Town theme is my favorite of all time, just for the way it's very easily able to portray that just chill, relaxed Sunday afternoon kind of vibe, but this one is no slouch either. It's pretty nice. And again, the battle theme is, you know, pretty solid for some ragtag antics, and I don't know. It's fun all around. And I suppose, with nothing else to talk about, you might be noticing a few things, especially with a cutscene that pointed it out, which I don't know why I made it subtle at all. Yeah, the struggle competitions. Yeah, that's pretty much a big thing around here. It's pretty much the equivalent to, you know, playing sticks and swords with a Selphie, Titus, and Waka, but this time it's pretty much a competition, and you actually do have a fair few opponents to actually battle with. 3 of which are pretty much town locals, another of which is a Final Fantasy cameo that, a bit of an unusual pick, I'll admit, but a pretty welcome one all the same, especially considering that we don't really seem to get a lot of Final Fantasy characters in Kingdom Hearts, at least from the pre-Final Fantasy VII era, because I guess maybe it's to do with, like, a rights thing, or, like, a Japanese sort of honor, respect kind of thing, but yeah, Tetsuya Nomura doesn't really like using a lot of characters that he didn't initially design. I guess out of respect for their original artist, but at the same time, it's kind of a shame, really. Again, because there's a lot of people that would have loved to have seen Garland, they would have loved to have seen, you know, Kefka. Golbez, honestly, even X-Death, I think, probably would have fit as a decent super boss if you could find a way to fit him in. But, yeah, sadly, that doesn't really seem to be the case anymore. I mean, granted, they do still appear in the series, mainly because a lot of people force Nomura's hand, but I don't know, like, I mean, you still have Squall, Aerith, and Yuffie in Kingdom Hearts 3. You do have some form of Noctis and Stella, albeit more to Nomura's original vision in Kingdom Hearts 3, but, you know, more on that when we get there. And yes, look at that Roxas ass. I don't know, I just find this camera angle really amusing and, I don't know. It's sick. Oh yeah, fucking GoPro, bro! Fucking skateboard, fucking shit, cunt! But yeah, you can't enter the place without a skateboard, and you can't enter anywhere unless you got the money. Cause, the trains ain't functioning unless you got the money. So really though, who's in charge of the city council here? Is there even a city council? I don't know who's running the show, but, whatevers. We're teenagers. We ain't gotta worry about stats craps. So, yeah, again, you can pretty much come right here before, you know, doing anything at all. But, again, on the off chance that you're wondering how exactly they can shore up so much money without actually having to work for it, well, Olette, being the responsible one, she's pretty much got it covered, so, let's see her explanation for it.
Nice work, everyone. Added to what we started with, we now have, ta-da! 5,000 money!
Sweet!
Let's get tickets.
We can't be together forever, so we'd better make the time we do have something to remember.
Huh?
Gotcha! Whoa! Huh?
Huh?
Roxas! 3 minutes!
Okay.
Four students.
Roxas, the money.
Wait. No.
Huh?
He took it.
Where are you going?
Remember when I fell? I had the money before that. I bet that guy took it.
Guy?
He couldn't have gotten too far.
What are you talking about? There was no guy.
Huh? But there wasn't? Really?
Oh boy.
There wasn't anyone there?
Oh, Roxas is sad, and now they have to go back and hang out elsewhere. By the way, like, I mean, even as a teenager I had some pretty unusual hangout spots, but never was it on top of a clock tower. Like, I mean, I would've lost my fucking balance doing this shit, I'm sorry. But, anyway, that concludes it for this part.
It's melting.
Sorry.
Cheer up already.
That was definitely weird, though.
Strange.
You said it.
Can you feel Sora?
Can you feel Sora?
Restoration at 28%.
Namine. Hurry!